Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you happen to be watching this Ritsuko no Saga, coming at you with some more. Simasen? Some more control. Uh, Gosh, I hope that my voice doesn't blow out. Because that would be not cool. Honestly. Us, Kronos! It is wonderful to see you. I saw your art that you posted up, and it was very nice. I did the retweeting thing because I want to make sure that I'm retweeting your art when it comes across my TL. I always forget to check people's TLs unless like I'm doing a deep dive when I want to see if they're okay to follow. Um, so I feel like there's like a lot of updates that come across that I don't notice. But I saw your 2021 Happy New Year art, and it was really, really cool. Um, Gosh, stuff. We started up Control yesterday, because I know that... Wait, do I know that? Were you here yesterday, Kronos? I honestly don't... My memory is not... It's bad. My memory's bad, and I don't think you were here. We started up Control yesterday. It was very exciting. Things happened. We got Jedi throwing powers. No, it's okay. It's like, it's 100% okay. If you needed to sleep, it was alright. Um, but recently, my memory is like, pa! All across the map. So, I, I, I remember some things from yesterday, but I don't remember with granularity. But I'm glad that you got some sleep. I'm very glad that you got some sleep. Yosu! Hirunda! Wonderful to see you as well. I hope that life is treating both of you with kindness and with respect because you deserve it. You're both very, very good people, and I'm very glad to have you in my life. I'm gonna be doing some messaging. I've been doing messaging over the last couple of days because everything is slow and I've got very few spoons, but I kind of wanted to contact everyone close to me and let you know how much it's meant to me that you've been in my life the past year, couple of years, depending. But I'm not gonna go too deep into that because I'll probably end up like crying, and that would be a bad thing. I mean, it would make for a very weird stream. Chrono says, woke up an hour later, was too tired to get out of bed. I played it through my phone, and I hope I absorbed the commentary. I did not. It's okay. Chronos, it's 100% okay. There's gonna be, I think, a lot of opportunities for commentary on Control. There's a lot going on with Control, and I like it. I do like it very, very much. I haven't run into issues like FPS issues that you had kind of mentioned previously that maybe would come up for us. Uh, they may come up in the future, of course, but so far, at least early in, it seems like it's running relatively smoothly. There are pop-in issues, sometimes very strange pop-in issues that we've run into, but they're more amusing than anything else so far. They're not causing issues with gameplay, at the very least. The doors. I'm not happy with the doors, but that's its own beast. Hidden says, I'm expecting a Stromkey graphics card tomorrow or in 2 or 3 days. Also, you mean a lot. Thank you. Hidden, thank you. Thank you. Um, yeah. I've got, hey, this is a cool thing, and I'm gonna put this on the Twitters, and I'm gonna put this in, the LSRS eventually. I want to read the entirety of it before I put it up in places, because I want to make sure that it's something that I support. It's not creepy. But I found on Reddit, that sounds terrible, but I found on Reddit there was an actual academic study of how gender was presented in LBP 1, 2, and 3. Just the base games. They didn't look at like the side stuff. But it's been really cool. I've read through about half of it. It's 42 pages long. That's a lot of pages. And it's not super dense, but it is kind of dense. But I want to share that with folks. I found it, like, just the fact that someone looked into that was so cool to me. Kronos says, I'll be honest, since I know nothing about Control, it sounds like a battle royale that no one talks about. It's interesting. It's not a battle royale, thankfully. But it's like a survival horror that nobody talks about. And it seems strange that nobody talks about it to me, because, like, it's a lot. It feels very dense as far as its world building and its lore. And I'm surprised that there's not more discussion of this game. More pages than my entire LBP career at this point. I don't know. Are you sure? Alice! Hey! It's so good to see you. I was gonna put up some tweets about your stream. I'm gonna do those either tonight after my stream, or I'll do them tomorrow. My brain's been all over the map recently. Folks, Alice is going to be doing, some of you may have heard this yesterday, some of you may be hearing this for the first time. Alice is going to be doing a couple of streams on the 9th and 10th for trans charities in Portugal. And I've got some deets on that. I'm still not 100% sure if it's going to be technically possible if I can be involved as a guest on that stream. Because I don't know technological things. Like, that's shameful, but it's absolutely true. But please give Alice a follow. And check out their stream on the 9th and 10th of January. And if you can... If you can't, it's understandable. Money's tight for everybody. But if you can give some support to these charity groups, to trans folks in Portugal, that would be... I would appreciate it. And I'm sure they would appreciate it as well. Juicy insider knowledge. If I recall correctly, there was one grade school where they used LBP for, like, art class or something. There was another study that I read about using LBP as a teaching tool. I didn't read it, but it was in that package that I focus on the gender side of that. That I maybe is the same that you're... Ludo's... Oh my god, Ludo! Ludo! Osu! I literally couldn't go a week without seeing this game last year, but I guess our feeds are different. Quite possibly, Ludo. My feeds, for better or for worse, are, like, art, lesbians, lesbian art, or, like, trans folks dealing with being trans, and all the, like, the shit that goes along with that. That's, like, my entire TL.
Locked. Maybe there's a key nearby.
Maybe there's a key nearby. I hope so. We've got, like, a bunch of these level 1 doors we can't get through. I know at least one trans lesbian who loves this game, so that's no excuse. I mean... I knew about the game-ish. I knew about the game enough that I wanted to take a look at it. But it did not seem to be in the discourse for me. And I don't know why. It's very odd. Because it is so super my jam. Is this the Neko Navy of Control? I mean, it could be. Hirone says, I wouldn't doubt its potential for serious academic purposes, but I was thinking more along the lines of bringing provocative, stimulative discussion to the LBP community itself. You know, honestly, that's something that the community could use. To the extent that we continue to have a community, it's like a lot of question marks in the air. The same way an art museum brings it to an art museum, an art installation brings it to an art museum. That's a very interesting point. That's a good point. Oh, okay, we can go through here. We've just got to throw stuff. That was R1. Oh, demons. We have demons. But I can shoot them, so, you know, that's okay. We are playing somebody who is cop adjacent. And that's kind of not cool. But I'm not sure how cop Jessie is. She seems to be, like, she's not happy in her role as maybe cop. I definitely recommend the Jacob Geller video on it once you're done. It's the reason I understand this game almost too well. I will give it a look at that. I've been waiting on... I want to do this before I look at the Curio video. Because the Curio video keeps on showing up on my TL. Or at least on my recommended videos feed. And I want to be as fresh as possible. So I haven't watched it yet. Chrono says, just the other day I saw a video highlighting some of the big projects currently being worked on in LVP, which was surprising to say the least. Made me think maybe more people are waiting for my adventure than I initially thought, then proceeded to stroke my beard in thought. That was a lie. I have no beard. Chronos, you don't need a beard. You are a beautiful person with a beard or without one. But I am eagerly waiting your adventure, and I think that other people in this community are as well. So, when you can, no pressure, honestly speaking, but when you can, I would love to see what you make. Ludo says, I have no beard and I must stroke. That sounds... Ludo! That sounds very naughty.
Emily said that the hotline can be reached through the mailroom.
I don't know how I feel about that, Ludo. Like, do I want to encourage you to stroke? Or not? That's gonna be my first OnlyFans video. Yes, it sounds like it. Okay, where's the fucking mailroom? It's here. Okay. But like, didn't we do here already? Are we not done? Mailroom, it's the left. I mean, hey, money's money, and money can get one copies of Neko Navy. This is not a lie. I mostly have developed facial hair because of not being bothered to shave every 3 days syndrome. That's fair. That's 100% fair. Oh, lore. Oh shit! Clearance level. That's us. We're cleared. Babies. Oh, reality's gonna break. Is that the dude? I don't know. There's a dude we're supposed to... Oh, yes, that's him. And he's a jerk. Now, this guy, he didn't want to wear his protective suit, so he became evil, I think. Like, it's very confusing. Oh shit, there's people. Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Give me a second here. I may have to focus. I don't like focusing, I'm not good at it. But I noticed that we have no health. Oh shit. This... excuse me! Motherfucker! Kronos says, I hope I never grow a beard. Never picked up a razor in my life. Kronos, I am so amazingly jealous of you. You have no idea the degree of jealousy that I have right now. Ludo says, I'm beardy because my lower face region is invisible to everyone but me. There are times that I will leave the house without shaving because, as you've said, you've got a mask on all the time so people can't see you. But usually for me, that's a sign that my brain meats are not well. And I really need to kind of buckle down a little bit. Because, like, not shaving for me does trigger pretty heavy dysphoria. So if I'm not feeling that dysphoria, it's because I'm already fucked up by something else. Ahidana says, I primarily use electric shaver thingy when I couldn't have a beard because school. Wait. What? Oh shit! Right, okay. Okay, these are, like, the statements are completely separate. Hirunda, you couldn't have a beard because of school? Question mark. That's very odd to me. Kronos, I think you're the reason that I mixed up the Philippines and Portugal last night. And I'm glad that you mentioned the background because I was wondering how I had mixed that, because it's a bad mix to make. Having no beard growth is a gift. It is a... Wow, it's like a gift. Secondary school was New Zealand school with uniforms and dress codes. How odd. Arcrat! We're dying. It's wonderful.
Great.
You know, as we do. This guy is a jerk. See, he should have worn his protective gear, honestly. Whee! But Arcrat, I hope that you're doing very, very well tonight. I hope that you've got no particular issues. Oh, you jerk. Not you, Arcrat. This, Tamasai guy? He's a jerk. And he dodges! Why do you dodge? How do you... Excuse me? I'm sorry. I am fucking sorry. This dude just put a desk through our bodies? Kronos says, never had to deal with it, but I hate dress codes. We should round up dress codes and burn them like heretics and gravity. I mean, I'd like to burn gravity. Not... I mean, I'm cool with heretics. I'm super cool with heretics. Krat says, if you were calling me a jerk, you would just use my name. Krat, I would not call you a jerk. Also, Arcrat, I want to ask a question, if it's okay. Now, I know that your name is Andrew, but you go by your screen name is Arcrat. And when I did the video thing for you and I really wasn't sure which one to use, is it okay if I call you Andrew? Or would you rather that I called you Arcrat? Or cuz I was a thing. Burning, I'm currently mad, not serious mad, more like I can't see my forehead kind of angry. That's an unusual statement. Kronos. I don't... Do you... I mean, do you not want to see your forehead, or do you want to see your forehead? I'm not sure why you're angry at this point. But maybe foreheads are, like, you feel differently about them than I do? Either is fine. Okay. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I just want to...
Fly now. Great.
I just want to use what you would like used, crap. I can't hit this guy. He's a dick. You're a dick, Tomasi. You keep dodging. You're not allowed to dodge. You've got one more bit. Or not? Did I hit you? No, I did not. What a jackass. Sir, I do not like you. I do not like you at all. Please do not. Oh crap. Did we? Oh shit. Okay, we got guards. We got guards and they suck. Run, Jesse, run. You need to kill these guards and not die. Where? Where did they go? It's like a fucking Guns N' Roses song. Look at this jackass, just fucking flying around like a dick. I will look at chat in a second. Oh fuck. Okay, we got shooty people shooting at me. And I hate that. I really want to look at chat though. Like, I feel like there's things happening. Look at this guy. Did I not pick you up? Oh, right, because I didn't hold it. Oh, fucking fuck! Excuse me, but what? Oh, shit. Okay, there's gunfire from everywhere. Why? Why? Who? What? Okay, run over there and get your health. Health is good. Fucking, I swear, this game is... The combat is kind of shite. It is not friendly. The combat is not friendly. Okay, we're half health. That's half awesome, I guess. Come here. Come here. Biff! Motherfucker! Oh shit. Okay, we got guards. I hate these guards. Yosh! Take that, asshole! We're gonna have to fight this fucker again.
I have a feeling he'll be back.
I know, Jesse. I know. I
Let's
know.
stay
He'll be
focused.
back.
The hotline should be past the mailroom.
That dude's gonna be a reoccurring boss. Arcrat says, thank you for asking. It's interesting, Andrew's my name, but as of earlier this year, Arcrat is my professional acting name. But yeah, comfortable with either. More than happy for you to call me Andrew. Thank you. That means a lot. Names are important things. Very important things. Kronos says, now I'm not saying I hate coffee, but tea was undoubtedly an option I had looked at a bit harder. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I'm not gonna get. I used to. If you had asked me 20 years ago, I would have been very much. I would have had opinions with a capital O about coffee versus tea. Um, I really don't anymore. Whatever gets you through the morning, uh, does it. Small boss name looks like Toonami. I love it. Kronos, I love that. Krat says, I'm sorry I didn't get tea. I woke up really craving a lemon and ginger tea, and I don't have that. The combat is not family friendly. The combat is honestly, like, it's not. How do I want to put this? Like, because we've played similar games. We've done games that have been like third-person shooting type games, and it feels very. What is the word that I want to use here? Unintuitive, maybe? Is the way to go with this one? Like, the lack of an actual lock-on is an issue because things kill you very quickly. So if you can't get on top of them, then even relatively low-level enemies can really ruin your day. There was a section last night where, like, there was one enemy who had armor. That was it. And there was like a couple of mooks around, but this armored enemy was not a particularly strong enemy, and it just took forever to get past this dude. We've got a butt summary. I know it's pronounced butte, but I'm gonna pronounce it butt because I can. A game called Control, but not much control in combat. A masterful subversion it is. I mean, it's... Control does do an awful lot, so maybe it is a subversion? Krat says healthcare message. Drink water, take medication you need, remember to eat what you can, breathe however you can, stretch when you're able to, you're loved very much, you're valid, and people here care about you. Fuck yes. Andrew, fuck yes. Everything that was said there, please take that with all the support that I can muster, or that you imagine that I can muster, because, yes. Now, one other issue that we've had about Control from last night is that if you want to read all the really cool lore, and there is a lot of really cool lore, you've got to go into the menu to do it, which is kind of a pain in the ass, if we're going to be 100% honest. Hiss elevated. I love these little drawings. Hiss elevated agents display abilities similar to telekinetic competencies observed in Bureau Para-Utilitarians. Some prefer to charge the targets, while others launch objects at them. Telekinetic attacks have been ineffective against the Hiss elevated due to their own talent in the area. They do not use any weaponry except their own paranatural capabilities. Some Hiss elevated have been seen levitating while strapped into chairs. This is likely the result of individuals being corrupted while undergoing cognitive recording in parapsychology. How are they able to use paranatural abilities? It is possible that these individuals were bound to objects of power prior to corruption. It's also worth considering that the Hiss resonance can identify and express latent paranatural ability in the individuals it corrupts. Refer to file redacted for full report. There's a lot of reading in this game, by the way. We should probably point that out. It's gonna kind of suck for my throat. Butte summary. A spate of disappearances was traced to a home in the city of Butte, where Bureau agents discovered a translocative light switch cord. Translocative light switch cord. Sure, why not? That's a thing. Butte Bureau agents arrived at the home of a local celebrity. Are there any celebrities in Butte? For real? Located at Redacted, which had been connected to a total of redacted disappearances in that area. Agents found no one inside. While researching in the closet, an agent pulled the light switch cord. Wait, hold on a second. Light switch cord? Is that a thing? That doesn't fucking make any sense. Does it? Anyways, he disappeared from view. Another agent was selected to pull the cord in order to replicate the event. He disappeared as well. Both agents were discovered at the oldest house, redacted days later, found in a sealed room by rangers exploring a new area of the house. The light switch cord. I hate those words in that order. In the Butte home's closet disappeared during this incident. Isn't lore typically stored in the menus through? You're not wrong, Kronos, but the fact, like when you pick up a document in Resident Evil, and it immediately puts that document on the screen, and you click through it if you want to. The fact that the lore doesn't give you a way to immediately read it, like adding that extra step that you have to go through the menu to actually access the lore, it's kind of a pain.
Alberto Tomasi, head of comms.
He was Italian. That's an interesting mashup of terms. Like, yes, they make sense, but you get a switch or a cord for the light. I could see someone maybe wondering how that sentence should read, and they're just settling on light switch cord. I hate it. I hate it so much. Oh, we've got Tomasi's ID, and he looks like Doctor Strange. I like that. Like the blood spatter kind of looks like Doctor Strange's cloak.
The hiss got him.
Yes, Kronos, exactly that. Exactly that. It's an extra step that's not necessary.
Alright, take this down. The situation in Cuba has been evaluated by the relevant authorities. The mysterious illness affecting the staff at the U.S. Embassy in Havana was caused by sonic weaponry in the hands of a foreign power.
It's Doctor Strange.
Damage to the inner ear, but most are expected to make a full recovery.
I actually remember this news story.
Their cellular walls, but we can't blame that on some stupid noise gun. Thank God no local doctors examined them first. Honestly, what the odds an altered item would show up inside a U.S. embassy? Talk about good luck, huh? So much easier to... Are you still recording this?
Tomasi sounds like a giant jackass, and I'm glad that we killed him. I feel like we made the right decision
The hotline can't be far now.
in making sure that he stayed deaded. There are all these things that we can throw at people, and I want to do that more. The weird, like, throwing up the title cards as well, I actually think that's a pretty cool decision. I did. Jesse has brain powers. As established, also doors hate her. Yes?
The light switch cord.
Fuck the light switch cord! I hate your fucking light switch cord. Wait, excuse me? Did they just fucking kill me? They just straight up killed me. Like, I guess I deserve that. I don't know why. I took the door that was open and available to me, and they made me dead. Thank you, Control. I appreciate your meta-narrative of hating the player. In terms of power hierarchy, door keycards are more powerful than life itself. If they make me fight this motherfucker one more time, I swear I will be displeased. Oh my fucking god. Okay, they're not. But I was ready. I was prepared to be displeased. Thank you for not making me fight the boss one more time. That's really cool. It's appreciated. You're just gonna make me fight jerks. Which, I mean, you know, I need to practice, honestly. Thank you for exploding. I appreciate your explosions. Oh god. Look at you, you're very close. It's quite satisfying to see a federal bureau designed to control the nature paranormal just collapse. You're not wrong. It's very... like, the lore here is very interesting. And I kind of like the idea. It's a very Unknown Armies type of feel that people expect this kind of agency, and therefore this kind of agency exists. Like, it is created through the power of the collective thought. Biff! Oh shit! I'm sorry, but where did you, like, did you just spawn? Do you just pop up? Like an asshole? Oh shit, they just keep spawning. Fucking dicks. Well, I mean, like, we could farm points. I suppose. But I really don't think that's the best use of our time. Are you just gonna keep popping up? Like, what's your gig, dude? Well, fudge. I don't want to fight these guys forever. Mostly because it seems boring. If they make me fight this thing again, I will go to every one of the developers' houses and steal all their left shoes. I mean, honestly, that seems fair. That seems extremely fair.
Alright, take this down. The situation in Cuba has been evaluated by the relevant authorities.
I don't know if we need to read this again. And by read, I mean listen to.
Caused by sonic weaponry in the hands of a foreign power. Numerous personnel have damage to the inner ear, but most are expected to make a full recovery. Of course, the event also damaged their cellular walls, but we can't blame that on some stupid noise.
Wait, hold on a second. I want to read that, but, this guy's shooting at me. I feel like this game would benefit from tilt controls for aiming, since aiming feels, oh shit, non-existent. That would be interesting, actually. I wonder what the tilt controls would, like, how they would work out in this game. I've played very few games that have that, except for Splatoon. But, like, you're kind of playing Splatoon, it's in your hand, you know, the actual screen itself. Yes, yes, hotline chamber. Psychic powers? When does my gun move? We're down with the gun moves. I should put on the threshold, kids, when I take my break. I don't think it's 5 minutes long, but it's a lot, and I feel like everybody should be subjected to it. And I know that Kronos wasn't. Hotline security log. All visitors must check in. Trench, Everett, custodian. Trench, Everett, who's the custodian. Trench. So it's just like Trench and the custodians. Sure, whatever. 11:11 p.m. I hope that Carol made a wish. Because you should be... If it turns 11:11... Krat, I just saw that, and you're not right, but I wish that you were, because that sounds amazing. Also, I want Splatoon 3, and I want a Switch, and I want a pony, and a box, and to be on HRT. I'm sorry, this is just like my wish list at this point, so, you know, that's the whole thing. I do want to take a short. I'm gonna take a short break. Hopefully, I'm not gonna die. While I'm on my short break, I'm gonna leave you a thing to watch because I needed to be subjected to this, and I think that everybody else should as well. So, I'm gonna take my 5 minutes to get some water. If you need some water, a soup, a sandwich, some Splatoon, this is the time to grab it, and you can watch Missing Mama, because you should. It's a thing.
Hey, Meg! What's wrong?
My mom's dead.
I'm so sorry, Meg. What happened?
I don't know. They blacked it out.
It's like the director says. Confidential and children don't start with C.
The director's a puppet. A dirty, rotten, fart person.
Dad says my mama went missing in actions. She walked into the city and didn't come back. I don't know what missing in actions is, but I sure wish someone would find her.
I'll help you look, Topher. We'll find your mama together.
Alright, we are back. What did I miss here? We're on a watch list now. I mean, we probably have been for too long. The multimedia stuff in Control is really well done. It's got this slightly creepy, hokey vibe to it. The Dr. Darling sketches as well are really cool. Okay, so like we don't want to jump into the void. We want to mind the gap. Well, what the do you want me to do?
Have we been here before?
What the hell? Okay.
No.
I guess they wanted us to do
There's
that.
a lot of roadside motels across the country, on the road, on the run, under the radar. This feels like all of them, like something recognized from a dream.
Okay. I'm cool with this. I like archetypical places. This game is so Unknown Armies that
Hello? Anyone here?
I have a hard time believing that no one on the world building staff had read Unknown Armies because it's very there. The idea of like things existing because people believe they must exist is right up that alley. Reminds me of that one ledge in Iconoclast. It's really easy to fall off the first time, so you don't read the sign, and then you take like 5 minutes to get back to that ledge, and the sign says, "Careful now." I'm trying to remember if we fell off that ledge in the playthrough. Lassen Volcanic National Park. Ranger Naturalist Service. I hate Jessie's jump. Like this weird, like she wants to levitate. Does anybody jump like this? I don't think I do. I'm trying to remember the last time that I actually jumped, though. It's not really something that you need to do in the everyday, you know? If... yes? Also, now everything is blue? What do you want? Game, what do you want from me? Okay, but consider, game, if I walk here, I will die. And I don't want to die, is the thing. And now I'm back in the fucking casino. What? Yes, but no. Apply a bag of ice to the MacBook. Oh wait. Hiruna says I'm probably hopping off. The MacBook is making it hot in my room. Hiruna, thank you so much for dropping by tonight. If you need to drop off, it is absolutely no problem at all. Please have yourself a wonderful day, a wonderful evening for you where you are. I think it's nighttime. But yes, thank you for dropping in. And was Des in a meeting, so lurking for about 10 minutes. No worries, you lurk as much as you need to. I know that you got stuff going on because you're like a bigwig, right? I don't know that you have a wig or that the wig is large. I would not make that assumption. there's no room 333. So clearly something is wrong. Okay, but game, consider giving me a fucking hint. Just one. Just a little hint. Can I go in the janitor's room? No. Because you're filled with hate. I can't shoot anything with my brain. Because again, hate. Nande? Nani kore? Alright, the light is on. The light was on, and now the light's not on. But the rooms all have different stickers on them. That room is bad. Oh, like a light changed, I think. No, you were open before. Can I sleep in this bed? Sleep, Jesse. This bed is very small. Look, she's not going to be able to sleep in that bed. That's a bed for very small people and children. She's going to have to lie down diagonally. This is a bad hotel, or possibly a very good hotel for very small people. I can't traverse the Ocean View Motel. There's no place to traverse, motherfucker. I can't traverse it. The rooms are closed. Are you traversable now? No. Asshole. Ring that bell. Hit the like button. Subscribe. I don't fucking know. Can I go out the window? What do you want? What do you want from me? Game. I'm trying to do the thing you're asking me to do. Andrew. Shit. Like, this is not gonna help us. We're gonna die if we go down there. Stand here. Notice Ocean View Motel and Casino entry point. Catalyst light switch. Law of 3 applies. It's always threes. It's always fucking threes. Three pulls on the light switch pulls us back to... Oh, wait. Let's try this. 1, 2, 3. Oh, fuck you, game! Law of 3 applies, you said? Like a liar? Like an ancient Greek instrument? Can we ring the bell 3 times? I hate you. Wait, what? There's a new room that's open. Is this the 3rd time that we've been here? I don't know. I'm so confused.
Key has a black pyramid on it.
But what would they fucking do? Key has a black pyramid on it. Maybe it goes to that black pyramid door. Why would you do this? Why would you? Why? There's being confusing, and then there's being an asshole. I feel like this is kind of edging into the asshole territory. Alright, we're back. We're in the world of the world. And I want to pick up the phone just to shut it up, but not unfair, Andrew. Not unfair at all. Sorry, quick stopover. Got lunch to do. Back to work. Des, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for dropping in, even if it was only for a little bit. And I hope that your work is not too hard on you today. This is me looking for food. That's a mood. Directors can call the board long distance. Complete the astral plane challenge. I don't like. There's a lot, you know, going on. These hops, these jumps, like, who did they get to animate these? They're very odd. The hotline will allow you to contact extra-dimensional entities. Is that good? Do we want that? Should I throw things? What are you? Are you dangerous? My brain broke. I guess? Oh shit! It's killing me. Okay, let's not die. Let's die. We died. Yay! Catching up day for me and about 40 emails to get through. Holy dogs. I don't think I could do 40 emails in a day. I know that there's folks that have like 1,000 emails on their Gmail thing, and my brain just kind of falls apart rapidly at that point. I've got like one email, it's to my brother. I need to, I don't feel like I've been the best older sister to my brother because he went to a wedding reception in the middle of COVID and ended up breaking his knee because he was dancing and he did a kick, and the kick tore his ACL. And I feel like I need to take him aside and be like, little brother, what were you thinking? You know you've got a bad knee already, and we're in the middle of a plague, and you go to a wedding reception, and then you do some kind of kick dance, and you completely destroy your knee? But on the other hand, he's gotten out of surgery, so, you know, I don't want to add more to him.
It is a phone. It's an object of power.
Dr. Darling.
It doesn't connect to any typical network. A direct line to the astral
We love
plane
Dr.
and the
Darling.
board. And my hypothesis is, under the right conditions, to other planes of existence as well.
Andrew.
A director needs a team. My management team. These people know the secrets of the Bureau as well as I do. Some even better.
This guy is like cosplaying Gary Oldman.
Salvador, Marshall especially, my head of operations. She sees right through me. She knows I don't like relying on people. The only person you should fail is yourself. But things change when you become director.
I mean, that's a mood. That's an absolute mood. I understand the feeling there.
I have it. The hotline.
Wait.
I can reach Trench. Well, listen to him. He feels more like an echo. An echo with important info. I need to get back to Emily.
Arcrat is...
People
Are we...
react strongly when I tell them about you.
Okay,
Is it
she's...
too soon to tell Emily? She might be able to help.
Jesse, are you done? Because I want to ask Arcrat something important here. Okay, I think Jesse's done. Also, for anybody who wasn't here yesterday, that Jesse's talking about her brother who was redacted by the Bureau. Arcrat, is Oldman somebody that we should be keeping an eye on as far as he's got some conservative views? I did not know that. I mean, that's like basically you could say that about just about anybody who I'm interested in a like a media sense, unless they are completely out about their jerkiness. A lot of times, like, there's stuff I don't know about because I don't really care that deeply. But okay, so Gary Oldman's got some conservative views. There's a 10-10-10 in there between some and conservatives, so I'm going to guess that these views are not great. Chrono says, okay, I couldn't find a meal, but I did find fried pork rinds, so that'll do for now. Kronos, if you need to get food, as much as I love having you here, and I appreciate the fact that you are a mod, please, food is good. Please, food yourself up on more than pork rinds. Kraut says there was an interview a couple years back. He had some thoughts, quote-unquote, on Hollywood. Nothing online Twitter, but it was just a little bit of, okay, to read. That's disappointing. That's quite disappointing. But at least not as bad as it could have been, because sometimes when people have views and thoughts, in quotation marks, they're pretty fucking awful. A hotline says, object should be inaccessible for use except to the director. Object is a 1960s era red Bakelite telephone. Rotary dial has been replaced with a black knob of unknown purpose. The phone weighs redacted. The object allows the director to communicate with the redacted. If used by anyone other than director, the object will cause lethal redacted. See Dr. Darling presentation 11.6 for more information. The object is currently bound to Dr. Trench. Not anymore. That's our object, baby. The object spontaneously manifested in the director's office, placed on the desk. Director Northmore was the first known Bureau agent to use it. Battery of tests were run of the object, including redacted and redacted, but its origin remains unknown. Interesting. Hive! Osu! Hive, it is always wonderful to see you. I hope that you are very, very well. Hope that life is treating you kindly. I am talking to you on a TV. Eh? Eh? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Hive-san? Hive-san? 意味がわからん。わからん。どういう意味テレビでって話してんの？え？え？ I moved my PC into my den and plugged into my TV. Okay, that makes super sense. I gotcha. Chrono says, I mean, I'd make instant noodles, but someone hid the water boiling thing, and I ate all the shrimp this afternoon. That's tough, you know? I could see that being tough. Holy shit, like, we've got tons of stuff to read? Watch? What? Eh? Oh, this is just the... No, it's not. It's new.
The ley lines, the meridians of the oldest house. Darling found a way to soothe this beast. We discovered we must cleanse control points of all interference. It's my duty as the director, like Northmore before me. I couldn't manage it in my own house, at my home. I'll damn well do it here.
Okay.
At some points, the oldest house would swallow us alive. We'd be sealed inside an endless labyrinth, and no one would hear our screams. If an enemy ever managed to corrupt the control points, it'd be over fast, spreading like a cancer, leaping over the fire breaks like a crown of fire. They are the weak point. Darling's right about that. He's wrong about everything else. Dangerously wrong. Suspiciously wrong.
Eh?
Has he been compromised?
I have so many question marks, but I want to address Hive's point. I was watching another stream and every plosive threatened to cave my chest in because I need to calibrate my subwoofer properly. Are we... Is it a problem on this end? Hive? I don't want to cave your chest in.
Dreams, constantly ringing.
Because that would be bad.
So loud I can't hear the voice I'm straining to understand.
Oh, good.
I pick up. It's a secure line of communication with the board. They would tell me what I need to know. Do I fear their answers? Would they have warned me of this threat? I didn't see it coming. The traitor in our midst.
Is the traitor Darling, or is the traitor Thomasite?
I can't trust anyone. I must assume all my intel has been manipulated.
Because Thomasite was, I mean, he was a jerk.
I can trust. Bind it, control it. The rule and the ritual with objects of power.
I imagine softer streams don't have the same damage output.
Lifeline to the astral plane.
Okay.
I must see.
Well, we are, you know, a little bit soft. So there's that.
I'm so tired. Always tired now. But I must reach the hotline.
I don't have like one of those like really fancy pants microphones that you've got to put like on an arm and get it right in front of your face.
The hotline. I must reach the hotline.
Maybe someday. I did notice when I was doing that recording that like it's hard to get my voice to project the way that you would expect a projected voice. I don't know if that's
A director needs
just
a team.
because of how I
My
talk,
management team.
or
These
if
people
that's
know
because of the equipment that I
Bureau
use.
as well as I do.
Oh, we already saw this one. We don't need that one.
The Ocean View Motel and Casino is a familiar friend to me. I stayed in countless motels like it while investigating AWEs across the country, back in my field agent days.
I hope this isn't too much of a pain in the ass, by the way. I do kind of want to get the lore.
Same and not the same. Anywhere and nowhere. The Ocean View operates on dream logic, and the light switch cord leaks out to be found in the most unexpected places, and sometimes successfully encouraged to appear and act as a convenient lock to keep out those not trained in dreamscape navigation. Even Bureau veterans can only find one key in the motel. The key that opens the door marked with the inverted black pyramid.
I wonder if we'll end up finding more keys.
The other doors are still mysteries to us. We're all merely guests there.
Anyhow, this is about as far as I got in the game myself before getting
Sometimes
too
I
creeped
need to
out to
visit
continue.
Just to breathe
Oh.
easier for a while. It beats the numb, sterile apartment I spend my nights in.
Oh, poor Director French.
Everything but myself. I guess that's where the whiskey comes in.
Oh, damn, that mood, that's a mood. I know that mood very well. I've been enjoying it very much, Hive. I've been really enjoying this game a lot.
Coming. The whispers growing louder. The worst winter storm in Bureau history. Retribution for my sins. Our sins. This threat could destroy the Bureau, everything I've built. Destroy me. A web spun, turning this place against me. I catch glimpses of it in the corner.
I mean, people are like, Control is strange and weird, and no one's like, Control is a horror game disguised as a Metroidvania. I mean...
A perverse game of hide and seek. Is this part of an attack? Obfuscating the facts.
It's...
My eyes. It's hard to tell.
The horror of it so far...
Answers. I haven't heard back.
And we're still like really early in. It's very much in that cosmic horror / weird horror vein, and that's
it's my duty
very much my thing. Like, I love that.
There's no easy fix. Magical thinking is a requirement for survival. Pain and suffering are mandatory. To change things,
So,
to break yourself. I don't know if I have the strength.
Have you considered Metroid itself is a horror game? Alice, that's not a bad point. That's not a bad point at all. You could look at old school Metroid as a survival horror in a way, like a very proto survival horror. You've got the same kind of resource management. You've got the same retreading ground of the very early survival horror games like Silent Hill and Resident Evil 1. And the lore of Metroid, although there's a paucity of lore, I think, in the game itself. What it tells through environmental storytelling and what is available like in the old game manual, it is very much horror. So I think that's actually like a really solid point. Andrew says, thought for my friends, Metroid is Nintendo's answer to Alien and a few other horror sci-fi franchises. I mean, I think that's dead on the money, Andrew. I really think it is. That there is a lot in the DNA of Metroid, and particularly the environmental design, that is, I feel like, what Nintendo in the early Famicom days, what Nintendo could do to replicate a Alien vibe. Alien with a capital A. Hive says, intellectually, this game empowers me to not have to worry about the physical manifestation of the horror. Emotionally, the game does too many subtle things that make me too scared to continue. Hive, if you... And I mean this in absolute honesty. If you feel uncomfortable with the game, too uncomfortable to stick around in streams, it is 100% okay. I would rather have you emotionally safe than needing to be here. So, like, just drop me a line in a DM or something that maybe you're not going to, be involved in the streams while we're doing Control. And I completely understand that. And I do not in any way hold that against you. I have a feeling I feel uncomfortable with playing the game. Okay. So, experiencing the game kind of secondhand is hopefully not a problem, but doing it firsthand is what kind of trips your triggers. Alright, I dig that a lot. I'm trying to think if I have games like that. I'm sure that I do, but they're not coming to mind to me right at the moment. Oh, we got to our office. Wait, this is the same office that we were at before. Eh? Eh? Nani? Bureau funding. To all executive staff, I know there is some concern regarding our operations exceeding the annual budget. So long as we operate within the oldest house, we are obscured from scrutiny in many respects. If our budget demands are not exorbitant to the point of drawing attention, then they will be granted by the U.S. Treasury without question. The FBC is just another line in another spreadsheet that some lowly accountant won't even notice. Their eyes will skip over us as if we weren't even here. The nature of the oldest house allows us certain freedoms in how we operate. Our being there is no accident. Regards, Zachariah Trench, Director of the Federal Bureau of Control. Fancy pants, Mr. Trench. Hive says, for example, I've seen other people play Control for a bit too. Okay. Andrew says there's a lot to be said for the power of an emotional barrier. Like, you and I know it's an option to trigger the map move, but knowing that doesn't change the fact that I'm slightly creeped out by a pull cord for a light. And responding, Hive says, there's no distancing that comes with watching someone else play through a game. Gotcha. Now you do the spectacular thing. I will try to do the spectacular thing, but I doubt that I'll be capable of it. Now, so we've looped back around to where we started the game. So I need to figure out, why don't we have a map anymore? Okay, there we are. It was just a pop-in. I need to go to the boardroom? Maybe? So... This way. We need to go this way. Oh, fudge. Andrew, you are very sweet, thank you. But I'm not spectacular. Like, that's just not... Shifted bathroom complaint. Really? Y'all just, like, up and shifted the bathrooms? Listen, I know you can't control building shifts, but the executive level restroom has been missing for weeks now. I've worked my ass off in the Islamabad station for 3 years. I've earned the right to a nice workplace shitter. Shitter? Shitter. If you can't bring it back, at least find out where it went. Dr. Rodriguez. Okay. That's a thing that happened. Do we have more notes? Should we search for notes? Oh. Oh, that's a load of malarkey. Andrew? I'm not wise. I
Jesse,
barely keep myself fed.
out there, the comms, the hiss. Sorry, you made it. I'm glad.
Emily? Let's talk.
Of course.
But before we talk, let's get this this other file that we need. And Analysis of Hiss Threat Part 1 confidential. Initial encounters with the entity known as the Hiss have revealed various behavioral facts. Most notably, the Hiss is able to invade or corrupt control points, altered items, and even humans, radically changing their behavior. Curiously, any person wearing one of the wearable HRA devices that Dr. Darling has been distributing over the past weeks was not affected by this corruption. The only known exception to this fact is the new director, Jesse Faden, who possesses an inherent immunity to the Hiss. This could indicate that she has already been corrupted, but her behavior is so in contrast to the other Hiss that I have dismissed that theory. My final observation comes from Ms. Faden herself. She is able to cleanse material and organisms of Hiss corruption. We tested the ability on a Hiss-corrupted entity, but unfortunately the process seems to kill the host. Perhaps the host's physiology becomes reliant on the Hiss. More work to be done. Refer to file redacted for full report. Being wise and being able to function in a world built partly by the hostile are two very different things. I mean, that's true. I still don't think I'm wise, though.
I can make out what Trench is saying now.
Incredible. What did he say?
He talked about his management team. People who knew the Bureau's secrets. Your boss, Darling. Tomasi, but he's gone. He's gone. Salvador?
He's the head of security.
And Marshall?
Helen Marshall is head of operations. She's tough, ex-CIA. She took her rangers and went to the research sector to secure the HRA production. She hasn't come back.
Someone who could help us. The other sectors. How do I get there?
It's impossible because of the internal lockdown. You can perform a directorial override to lift it, but that can only be done in the maintenance sector. Normally, you take the sector elevator down there.
She has got such a weirdly elfin face.
We already got past one lockdown. Maybe I can find a way.
Jesse, look, with no prep, no training in this extreme situation, you are doing phenomenally well. And all that and the Hiss can't seem to affect you. I mean, I would love to run some tests on you. If you agree, that is. We could find out something that would help us.
Tests? I don't know. She might find out about you. But I wouldn't mind understanding more myself.
What?
Okay. If you think it will help.
Great.
Glad that I could help.
I'll check the internal
Kronos.
documentation for any lockdown bypasses. We need to get these sectors open to locate Darling and Marshall.
And I'll look for a way inside the maintenance sector. The sooner we find one, the sooner I reach this override.
It's like it's the best word that I could think of that kind of works for it. I forgot how I was going to word what I was going to say because I was getting advice about setting up the sub, but it's entirely possible to be spectacular and not feel you're spectacular. It's also possible to be spectacular in small personal human ways that do not measure up to mythic, colloquial interpretations of the word spectacular. The state of being spectacular is multidimensional. Y'all. Thank you. There's something you said in the message you sent to me that hit me with how profound it was. I'll send you this story in a message. I don't... You know, I just... I'm just trying to be here for y'all, because y'all have been here for me, so, you know, I'm not trying to be anything more than that. Unlock new abilities. Board countermeasures now available from nearest control point. Weapon forms and mods can be crafted. Okay. I'm tired of all these US flags. Can I do something about that? I mean, I'm the director, but I can't use my powers here. Gonna make me look at that fucking flag. When I first saw her, I thought she looked simultaneously younger and older than the main character. I mean, that's like a pretty good call, Hive.
Hi, Jesse.
Oh, there's nothing new here. We don't want to talk to you. Sorry about
Thanks,
that.
Emily. I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
Without an external observer, you'll not be spectacular, just be you. I feel like there's something deep in that, Hive. Like a Schrodinger's spectacular cat? Or a Heisenberg's uncertainty spectacular theory? Or something like that? Although Heisenberg was a Nazi, so, like, fuck him. I don't remember if Schrodinger was a Nazi or not, but if he was, fuck him as well. Buttons! Us! Buttons, it is so good to see you. I hope that you're doing very well. I hope that life is being very gentle and kind to you. You have, as always, like, you and Claire have the timing of something. I don't know what the timing is, but you seem to always drop in when I'm going to be taking a quick break. Because I'm going to do that thing, because I definitely want to get some water down my throat. But, yes, I'm going to take a 5-minute break if you need this time to get some water, soup, a sandwich, a salad, perhaps. Salads are good. Not everybody loves them, but if you like them, you know, they're pretty good. Please take this 5 minutes to do that, and I will be right back. Alright, we are back and hydrated. And what did I miss? I'm trying two buttons. Doing my best. It's like, sometimes it's a thing, but as Arkrat's message says, you've got to have that on macro.
Someone's singing. Where's it coming from?
Oh wait, is Emily becoming corrupted? We don't want that because she seems nice and we like nice people. Yes, we thoroughly second Arkrat's message. It's an important one.
Singing. Sounds like it's coming from the elevator.
Hope has asked us to document the hiss incantation, she calls it.
You mean like in person?
In person, with a pencil and paper. I think she's trying to get us killed.
Have it memorized. It's a good one. It's honestly an important message, I think, for people to have, and to be able to reel it off like that is worthwhile. Abilities. So we can upgrade abilities now, but I don't know like what we need to do. Okay, so we need, excuse me, got a little bit of a burp in there. We've got these control points, I guess, that does it. I don't know, like with the triple triangle, we've got 6,979 bits. I don't know what that does or what that means. But we've got 4 of the kind of circular bits that we could use and 4 abilities that we can unlock. So why not do that? Alright, that's 3 bits. We don't want that. 10 energy, sure. Whatever. Whatever. We've got an extra weapon form slot. I guess? Why not? Sure. Weapon forms. Love them. Hive says, so something I noticed on Demon's Souls Remake, the subtitles have a setting to have a black background. Really helps with them popping off the screen. Oh, that's actually really cool. I very much appreciate the moving forward that the games industry seems to be doing with accessibility options, that they actually consider them to be worthwhile investing in. That was the one good thing from hello, Brain Meats, Last of Us 2. I think I may be officially done with Last of Us 2, by the way. I got to a point where content warning animal cruelty. The game is introducing dog enemies, and because it's The Last of Us 2, basically the best way to deal with any situation is to kill every motherfucker in the room. And it's very hard for me to kill these doggos because they're not Skedio doggos. They're not like when I play a Resident Evil game and the dogs are monsters and my brain parses them as monsters, and the newer games help because it's very clear, flesh is missing and they're covered in Skedios. But The Last of Us 2, they're just dogs. And I feel very uncomfortable killing these dogs. But the person who plays games side of me knows that the way that I need to engage with this situation is that I gotta kill everything. Because otherwise they'll, you know, they'll kill me. And the dogs are very effective, by the way, at killing you. I am deeply unhappy with that. I think that is a... The violence level in the game already bothered me. The fact that Ellie is a monster in the same vein that Joel was a monster. I know those are conscious design decisions by Naughty Dog. They're telling a very particular story. I don't know that I need that story, but if that's their right to make that story. But like the people on people violence already was an issue. The people on dogs violence was like, oh boy, like I don't know. I don't think I can do that. Last of Us 2 does whatever it can to make playing it as unpleasant as possible. Regarding killing dogs, the game already decides to make it even more uncomfortable. Yes. Yes. It's a lot. Like I need to do stuff outside the apartment tomorrow. I've been not very good at getting things done, and they need to be done. And I think one of the things I'm going to get done outside of the apartment tomorrow is selling The Last of Us 2 back to the used shop. Because it's not... I don't think... Yeah. Later in the game, it ups the uncomfortable. Holy fuck! Hive, how? Like, honestly? How? Because it's already pretty uncomfortable. At least in a Ludo narrative sense, it's extremely distressing. I know that the narrative is like I can see the bones of the narrative. It's very obvious what Naughty Dog is trying to say. It's a completely unnecessary message. If we are here and now and we can't figure out that, oops, revenge has consequences and it snowballs out of our ability to control it, like, have we not gotten that message yet? But okay, so Naughty Dog wants to tell a mature, heavy quotes, mature, I'm doing them with my fingers, game, story. But, like, I don't know. Spoilers, by all means, please do. Chronos says, I've had a couple of convenient features set in store from LVP Project. Some of those include skipping cutscenes for scenes you've already seen, enabling God mode for levels you've already beaten, and etc. Chronos, I am so looking forward to your project. I don't want to put more pressure on you than you've got at the moment, but I really, really want to see what you do with this. Hive says there's a perspective shift later in the game, so you play the lady who's trying to muck up Joel and Ellie. This means you interact positively with dogs that Ellie kills in the game. Fucking fuck! Sure, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not do that? Obscured weapon mod common. Obscured weapon mod common. What does that mean? I don't know what this means. A random weapon mod. Okay. A random personal mod. Refresh to generate new randomized mods. Upgrade to enable higher tier mods. Fuck it, let's just try it. Whatever, we just modded stuff up. And Andrew says I'm not here for Neil Druckmann's torture porn ride. Yeah, yeah. Kill enemies with service weapon in spin mode. I don't know what that means. Kill enemies with service weapon in charge mode. Also, don't know what that means. Exclusive incursion. Kill enemies in the executive sector. Okay. Kill enemies with service weapon in pierce mode. Okay. Kill his guards in executive sector using spin. I don't know what spin is. Let's try this one. So we kill stuff in the executive sector, and then we get this finished. Oh, that's not right.
A couple weeks ago, Trench was furious. You don't think Darling?
Button says, "Yup, I heard about that in one of the videos." And I was like, "Already a no, but no." Yeah, I mean, I walked into it. The only excuse that I have that was that I was so drunk that I didn't. I still don't remember actually buying the game. I just kind of found it in my bag with the receipt tucked into it because that's something that I do. But I knew that it was going to be bad. Buttons. But I saw Vamer Sophie's video on the game, and I was like, okay, so maybe the discourse kind of got bigger than what the game itself was, because I do enjoy Vamer Sophie's videos and with them, but you know, I thought this was like the first positive thing that I'd heard about Last of Us 2. And so I picked it up, and yeah, it's not. I'm not happy. I was not happy with it. Hive says, this is also not getting into the even worse queer suffering that happens during a perspective shift, and all that to make the cis character that Ellie is up against even more quote-unquote likable, to further drive home how off the deep end Ellie has gone. Whew. Chronos says, in the myriad of things in my mind for Project, though I imagine much of it will hit the cutting room floor to avoid future creep. That's fair. Chronos says absolutely fair. Hive says, I did get further in the game, though not much further. You'll find out what spin is soon enough. Good, because I want to figure that out. The excuse I have, it was $23, and I want to support in some ways its incredible steps towards forward in accessibility. That is good. That is absolutely good, and I won't hold that against the game. I think that's very, very well done. There was a thread written by a cis lesbian about all the ways the game fails LGBT people. Hive, do you have that on hand? I don't know if I have read that, but I would like to read that very much. So if you have it and you'd like to put it in chat, or even just DM it to me, but I think chat would benefit from that. By all means, please do. And Kraut says, I hate how many things Tulu 2 did right with accessibility because of everything the game does elsewhere. Okay, yes, absolutely. I'm glad Miles Morales came out this year. I should check that out. I really, I like the character of Miles very much. And did I just do a thing? I guess I just did a thing. I switched my weapons form. I hope that the Miles Morales Spider-Man is not quite as cop-friendly as base Spider-Man, because that was definitely an issue that I had with Spider-Man, is that it's very, very cop-friendly. Like, it's super pro-cop, and in kind of a gross way. Oh shit. Is somebody shooting at me? Look, I've got to kill 25 of you dudes, so if you want to just pop up at any time now, that would be really cool. Oh, hi, there you are. Damn, I just killed the fuck out of you. Thread can be found here. Fail dogs. That sounds familiar. But I'm gonna pull that up on my end and check that out. Thank you so much, Hive. I really appreciate that. I should put something into the text as well, and by text I mean chat. This is, I haven't read all of it yet, but this is an academic study of how gender is presented through costume choices in the Little Big Planet series. I talked about this a little bit at the very beginning of the episode. By episode, I mean stream. It's something that I want to give more of a reading to. I don't know, like, I don't know the conclusions that they come to yet, but just the bits that I've read so far have been very interesting, because gender in LBP is something that has been kind of important to me since very early on, even in the before. So that was kind of a cool thing. The way you read Toulouse as Toulouse bothers me, not in a that's annoying, stop that way. It just sounds silly. But saying The Last of Us all the time, physically exhausting, I might be speaking nonsense. I mean, you're not, like, it's like a failure either way. Kronos? It's a hard name to say all the time, but Toulouse is also kind of, I mean, honestly, goofy. I do think that the game deserves less respect than it's given, and Toulouse definitely is less respectful. Where are my dudes that I can kill? Like, y'all were all over the place before, and now you're not? And I find that kind of rude. Oh shit! Hi! I'm just gonna biff you until I get my map. What is with this map and its complete lack of poppin'? Stop that. Stop that. Take a chair! Haha! Biff? Boff? Motherfucking boof? How are we so strong? How does this even work? Like, we are way stronger than we were before. Also crackling on the microphone, sorry about that. Where did you go? Hive says... Oh shit, sorry about that. Let me kill this dude before I read that. Hi, throw it at that... Why are you not throwing it at the dude? What is your problem, lady? Hive says, Neil Druckmann's horrible train ride through incredibly thoughtful accessibility features with extraneous narrative attached is a bit too long of a title. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't think it shows the map in combat, so... Oh, shit. Fuck. Listen... Oh! But... Ouch! I deserve that. I deserve that 100%. I don't think it shows the map in combat, so it doesn't give away the fight. Either that or it didn't appear. You might have something there, Andrew. I'm trying to remember the last time that came up, where I tried to pull the map up and it was just the names of the rooms, but not the map itself. And that might have been in combat as well. Neil Druckmann's horrible train for all. Like, yeah, it's a lot. Okay, are we an executive now? I already opened that. I want to get this this dealio done. Hey, buddy. Gonna kill you, buddy. Boof? Motherfucking boof? Oh, it's Claire. Hey, how you doing, yo? I hope that life is treating you very gently. I hope that life is treating you very kindly. We're getting boofed by enemies, but we're also boofing enemies, so it works for the most part. But I don't seem to be aiming very well with our Sith ability. I'm not Jedi enough, I guess. I love the Technicolor spray. And also we've got a projectile choke now, which I don't know what that means. Where did that come from? Are you mocking me? I feel like you're mocking me. And I will not be mocked. Thank you. I like them apples, motherfucker! God, the booth is so satisfying. It's just like it feels very visceral. And I love it. I could boof all live long day, honestly. Are there more? Can I boof more? 'Cause I wanna. Come on and shoot at me, motherfuckers! No, I guess we boofed out. What did I miss? Neko Navy has no train, which means Neko Navy wins again through sheer technicality. I mean, that's fair. That's 100% fair. True. Claire says, my boss felt bad I didn't get any tables last week, so I got a free meal and a whole pie last night. So I guess life is good. I mean, pie though. Pie is good. It's not as good as, like, tips from people. I remember from when I worked in the bar, which was a long time ago, but like those tips really make a pretty big difference. But in lieu of tips, in lieu of tips, I mean, pie is satisfactory, I guess. Do we have no more baddies to boof? Are we all out of boofing? I guess maybe. I haven't had pumpkin pie in many years. It's been a very long time. I would be delighted with pumpkin pie. But it's not so much a thing here. Pie is not, like, pie is gettable in Japan, don't get me wrong. But it's not like a thing in Japan. The baddies are boof boys, they totally are. And I'm like 100% lost. Shit, where did we come from? Is that right? Okay, here we are. There's an elevator we need to do. Chrono says, whenever you bring up your time working at the bar, I just think about that story you told about the one kid getting alcohol with his brother's mangled ID. Oh, that was, I mean, I love that. That was one of my favorite.
Brings up a lot of new questions. Are they communicating? Coordinating? What about the plant that attracted them?
The power plant is largely confidential. No use guessing the hiss's motives if we don't even know what kind of energy it uses.
What do you mean? It has to be a fusion reactor. There's no other way to create that kind of energy output, right?
Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? What are you working for, Cotton Eye Joe? It's a good question.
Meet me in the maintenance.
A creepy janitor guy. I liked creepy janitor guy. I thought he was really cool.
Like I said before, the janitor is a friendly face.
Also, most likely a demon. I'm gonna guess a demon. It's a guess, but I'm going with demon. Now, I noticed the janitor doesn't have the whole suit going on, like the HRA protective gear. I wonder if the janitor is a manifestation of the oldest house. Like, the oldest house you assume has a janitor, and ergo he is assumed into being. And it feels very in line with Control so far. Did I tell the story about the bar story about the okay, so content warnings violence.
The maintenance sector is the janitor domain.
Also, we're gonna wait a second.
Find Ahti here. He can help me reach the override. Maybe it was you who got me into the oldest house with the lockdown on. Maybe it was Ahti.
Maybe.
It felt like he made the elevator appear that took me to Trench's office. Is Ahti guiding me too?
He's only here because you think he must be there. Like, Claire, that feels like a very big thread through the game that I've experienced so far. Like, that expectation and belief reaches a certain point and actually creates these things. Like, the Federal Bureau of Control is not actually a federal agency in the sense that it was put into being by executive order by the president, and it's got line items and things. Like, people believe that Control would exist, ergo Control exists. It's an interesting path to world building. I like that an awful lot. Oh hey, Cecilia Danas... hold on a second, I don't want to fuck that name up. Donastasio stuff is blowing up again. If you're into game stuff and games writings, please take care of yourself on social. I will, but I don't know what that means, Hive. Maybe I've just been lucky thus far. So if you could put like a preface in, that just so like we know what to look out for. Anyways, the bar story. I was working at the bar, checking IDs. Dude comes in, looks kind of pissed off, but his ID is fine, so I let him go, and he stomps into the main bar, because like there's the three bars that are in this building, and immediately glasses some woman who's at the bar. Like, straight up, Begbie style, glasses this chick. She proceeds to beat the shit out of this guy. Like, straight up, cold cocks this guy right in the eyeball. Pounds the fuck out of his head. He pell-mells out of the bar, blood pouring down his face, and she's just like, bitch, what? She ended up getting medical care. Everything was fine. I mean, you know, like getting a face full of glass is not really great, but don't mean to be a break momentum here, but what does glassing mean in this context? Glassing is when you take a beer mug, usually a beer mug, but it could be like a large beer bottle, it could be a wine bottle, anything made out of glass, and smashing somebody in the face with it. It's spectacular. It can be very damaging. Like, really, honestly, don't hit people with bottles, because bottles are a lot of... you could really hurt somebody with a bottle. But they tend to be... They produce an uglier wound than is actually damaging, if that makes sense. Like, there's a lot of blood. If you hit somebody in the face with a glass, like, there's a lot of blood. But it's not, like, probably going to kill somebody. You could really mess somebody up hitting with a bottle. Yes. And please, friends and neighbors of all ages, genders, and locations, don't hit people with beer bottles, because they can do a lot of damage to the skull. It's not a pleasant thing to do. It's absolutely not a pleasant thing to do. If you've seen someone knocked out in a movie with a bottle breaking over them, that's glassing. Yes. Chances are, if you hit somebody in the head with a bottle, you'll do actual brain trauma to the person before you break that beer bottle. Yes, Hive. And again, really quick content warnings for body trauma. That the old style Coke bottles, the ones with the waves on them, the reason that they had those waves was to make the no problems button. This will be finished in 1 minute, and we will stop. The reason they had those waves was to make them more structurally sound. There are actual cases of people who have had those waves imprinted in their bone because they've been hit over the head with Coke bottles. So, but let's leave that discussion done. I'm going to mark buttons just so that they know that we're finished. Thank you. Kronos, thank you. Thank you so much for handling that, because I'm very slow. I've got a lot of stories. Not all of them are pleasant. Sometimes it's easy to get deep into them. But thank you for being on the ball, Kronos. That's why you're a mod. Getting back to Control, and we're in the maintenance now. We don't have a level 2 keycard, so we're probably going to have to...
The directorial override is right
kill
there,
someone?
in the control room. How do we get there?
Usually, because it's a game, it's murder. Murder's how we get there. It's probably quicker to add somebody than to whisper them like I did. We'll keep in mind going forward. Thank you. We're learning things together. Are you done? There are so many of you. Why do you all have fucking shields? Okay, they're dead. Oh, that's not the right button. That's a different button. Oh, I should check that hotline to see if we've got more, like, hotline news from the evil director. I don't know if he's evil. He just feels very evil. I mean, honestly, most places that I've worked at, I haven't liked management very much. That was like a very big point in the Curry job, the former Curry job. I had a pretty surreal dream, if you're willing to hear it. I would love to hear it, Kronos. Are there any, like, content warnings that should be attached to this stream? Or is it just, like, kind of weird? Shoot. Lady. Jesse. Thank you. The fuck? Alright, many people are shooting at me, and I don't like that. None of it makes any sense, but I'm pretty sure it's all safe. Excellent. Then by all means, I would very much like to hear about your dream. Oh, crumbs. Okay, so that kills us. I don't... What happened? I'm like... Agent Scully, but also a Jedi? Am I Darth Scully? Is that who I am? I'm okay with that. Really, Gillian Anderson is like drop dead gorgeous, but still. Are we done? Could we not have baddies for a little bit? Because I don't know what the game wants me to do, and I really want to check out Kronos' story. Poof! Alright, I think that's it, so I can check it out. First thing I remember, I'm sitting in a school gym watching a game play out or something. Then I had to go to the bathroom, so I head to the nearest bathroom, open the door. Behind the door wasn't a bathroom, but instead an endless void where light cannot exist. Which, I mean, if you need to do your business, an endless void where light does not exist is probably a good choice, you know? I mean, it doesn't have any toilet paper, so that's a problem. Absolutely. But, you know, as far as disposal goes...
What's down that way?
Seems like you're pretty set. Jesse learns of another object of power, a merry-go-round house below the break room. Check that out. Kronos says, and I said out loud, "Aw damn, I was here last week and just left the gym because forget the bathroom, I suppose." I mean, if it's not gonna, if it's not working for you, you can't stick with it. Around this time, I just kind of left the school. Was there even one? And I was walking on this path. This dude came up to me and started asking me if I had it. Oh shit! You met Mike Patton! Did you meet Mike Patton in your dream? Was he singing Epic?
Ugh, this place makes me nauseous.
Does it though? Does it really?
An object of power. How do you think it got down here?
Are you talking to us, Jesse?
A carousel horse. Why is kid stuff always so creepy?
Right? Hive? Kronos says, I'm not sure what prompted it, but I just started yelling at the dude, "Look, I don't have your goddamn gummies." Stuff like that. This is apparently untrue. Given that seconds later, I reached into my bag and pulled out a box of gummies. As with a wooden box of gummies, I love it. This is wonderful and amazing, Kronos. Oh, air evade. Oh, we can do a goofy jump and evade at the same time. I handed it to him, but I dropped it by accident and half of the gummies spilled out. I picked up the box without recovering the lost contents and gave that to him instead. I mean, nice wooden box or gummies? Really, which one do you want more? Oh, for fuck's sakes. There is kind of a building sound that lets you know that they're going to be smashing together, but I don't think it's very good, if that makes sense. No double jump. Why no double jump, though? Honestly. Oh, shit! Fucking fuck! He didn't say anything, eventually started walking away. After a few steps, he stopped and looked at me, to which I said, "You better get out of here before I change my goddamn mind." Kronos is a baller. Even in dreams. I would not mess with Kronos. Have you noticed what color areas of high hiss concentration are? Red? Like, is the answer red? Okay, good. Oh, fuck you! Now, the, gold enemies are immune to Jesse's attacks. The control phone is also red. I don't know if that has any meaning, but... Just shoot him in the junk. That was the last thing I remember. In the end, what happened to that man? Did he change his mind? Perhaps he got upset and killed me. Maybe it was the other way around. Either way, I'm sure the battle was legendary. I do not like areas that are incredibly red. I have a picture of a bathroom that I think you would not enjoy very much. In that the... Are we back at the start? If we are back at the start, I swear... Oh, you fucking fuck. Oh, you absolute... You absolute bastards. You're gonna make me do all of this over again. It's like LBP! Put in a fucking checkpoint! Oh. Just, you did it, and you did it. The bathroom at my old, local was completely red. And it had red lighting. And I loved it because it also had 3 pandas in it. I mean, they're very small pandas, they're air fresheners, but I think that would probably have made you fairly uncomfortable. Speaking of stories, real or otherwise, I just remembered pretty much the wildest thing I ever was part of in my life. I would love to hear that, Alice, absolutely. Hive says, I think the things in these segments are here to get you to demonstrate how to use the ability you picked up, so you're not going to be relying too heavily on combat if your ability is not combat related. You're absolutely right, Hive. I still think there should be checkpoints, but... I am now friends for life with the horse.
Keep up with me now.
Which is, okay, you know, a thing. And we got a trophy pop. I'm hoping / imagining, Hive, that if the story was not something that they were comfortable with, that they'd probably not bring it up. Although, whether or not everybody else would be comfortable with it is another thing entirely. When I was about 7 to 10, I used to go to private Catholic school. Fudge. One time for the final day of school, we were told with no expectation to listen and learn to dance Bonnie Tyler, I Need a Hero. Okay. Although that does sound very school-like, to be honest. Ritual Impulse? What does that mean? I don't know what any of this means. I mean, it's a lot to ask, but having been a Catholic school kid, even though at a much younger age than Alice's experience, that tracks. Honestly, that kind of tracks. We did this for like 1 month before they told us that it was for a play, not on the final day, but it was done for a thing... It was done for a thing done to the final day. Huh. Merry-go-round horse. Objects should be kept confined in a confined space when unbound. Fiberglass horse once used as a seat for a merry-go-round ride. The pole is still connected to the object. The object is capable of moving short distances at high speeds. This can be quite dangerous when redacted in its path. The object is currently bound by redacted, but that's us. The object was discovered at the site of an abandoned amusement park. Local redacted reported that the rides would move on their own and that they would be chased out. When these rumors reached the Bureau, see America Overnight episode 235, agents were dispatched to investigate. 3 local redacted were found dead at the scene. The object attacked agent redacted by redacted. Agents invoked formula C.5 to redacted the object long enough to redacted. I wonder if formula C.5 is anything like formula C4, where you just like blow things up. The hiss is the opposing force foreign power. We will provide countermeasures / strategy, except ingest them at control points. These countermeasures / missions will benefit you. We will give resource rewards for each completed countermeasure. Okay, fair enough. Alice says they only told us it would be about a romance between fishes, and said if you want those, that you were going to play minor character could choose their own type of fish or like sea creature. So I asked if I could be a shark, and my teacher said yes. I don't know where to share it. I should put it up on the Twitters so you could see it. But I do have somebody, like a drawing of someone wearing a shark, like a suit, with the like word balloon. I'm a motherfucking shark. I wish I had the source so that I could give credit where credit is due, but unfortunately that is lost to the ether. I begged my parents to make a shark costume, which I got one. And when we were all ready to do the play, I first found out that the character I made was meant to be a gangster. So I made by accident a shark mobster. I love everything about this, Alice. This is amazing and also sweet. And also shark mobster. And really, there's no going back from that. Oh shit, cutscene.
Well done. You got the job. It's place for congratulations. Yippee, saatana. It happened in the last drop.
Okay.
I truly need an assistant.
Funny thing is, I've been a janitor. I'm more at home in that role than as the director. Only Ati here seems to see that.
Yeah, hi, Ati. Look, we need to get the lockdown lifted, otherwise I can't get to the other sectors. Can you help me get to the override?
Yes, easy peasy.
See?
It's just around the corner.
Easy peasy, 1, 2, motherfucking 3Z.
We need to get you working.
Working.
A small couple of hours job.
Something tells me it's gonna be more than that.
You think there's a dog buried in this?
Eh?
I can tell you are house's son. That's why you'll make a great assistant. Very well.
What?
I'll hit the facts on the table. Mä kyllä sanon perkele suoraan, että this house has a vermin problem. A bad one. They've already messed up the cooling pumps. And the power generators of a power plant, perkele. And the pensioner inside is starting to feel the band around his head tighten. The situation needs to be fixed before the plant blows up. And we all disappear like a fart in Sahara.
Trying my best to keep up with this.
Me too,
Fix the
Jesse!
pumps and the power generators, otherwise the power plant will blow.
But don't you worry. I've left you clear instructions. You'll catch the end of the thread before I go to my vacation. The work's on the task board here. You can do later, when you have time.
Vacation? Right.
Yes, no one's gonna cancel my holiday or seat's gonna rattle. But don't worry at all. You'll take care of it and soon this crisis gonna be last winter's snow. You better go now, so you don't have to run with your head as your third leg. The door in the back leads to the plant.
The door in the back.
Kind of love Adi,
Thank you, Ati.
even if he's very distracting from the chat. And I want to pull this up. What was going on? So we had this shark. Alice turned out to be a mobster shark, which we love. Play turned out to be a Catholic version of Romeo and Juliet with fishes, where no one was meant to die, but they kept poisoning and said it was actually an evil wizard, and then a good fish wizard revived a fish Juliet and Romeo, and then I literally said to fish Romeo and Juliet, the Shark Mafia clan will now protect you. And at the end of the dance, we all did We Need a Hero. Holy shit. This is, I mean, Kronos, you shouldn't, you don't have to stack your experiences up to other folks' experiences. We've learned in chat before that is unhealthy, but I gotta say, this is a whole fucking thing. Hype says, DM to me in Discord about Cecilia. Excellent. And Arcrat says, it reminds me of this scene in Hot Fuzz where they do Romeo and Juliet, then do a dance to acapella version of Love Me, Say That You Love Me. I should watch Hot Fuzz again. I really wanted to watch, lovely pun, Andrew. I really wanted to watch Mayhem, but Mayhem is no longer at the local Tsutaya, and I hate that. But Hot Fuzz is on Netflix, and while it is propaganda, that needs to be said, it is still an amazing movie, and I absolutely love it. I am going to, because we're at the 2.5 hour point, I'm going to take a last really quick break and get some water down my throat. And if any of y'all need water, soup, a sandwich, or an article about what did I, what article will I share with you? An article about gender change in Japan. I can leave that with you as something to look at whilst I am on my breaks. I appear to be in one of the vanishing few folks who like The World's End the most about the trilogy. I've got feelings about that Hive, and I want to get back to it on when I come back. But I like World's End, and World's End and Hot Fuzz for me are very much in like a neck and neck for my favorites of that series. But let me deal with that when I come back.
That's the reason they can go as far as Pepe Kraus. That's the reason they can go as far as Pepperhouse. That's the reason they can go as far as Pepperhouse. They don't appreciate music. That's the reason they can go as far as Pepperhouse. They don't appreciate music. That's the reason they can go as far as Pepperhouse. They don't appreciate music. That's the reason they can go as far as Pepperhouse. They don't appreciate music. That's the reason they can go as far as Pepperhouse. They don't appreciate music. That's the reason they can go as far as Pepperhouse. They don't appreciate music. That's the reason they can go as far as Pepperhouse. They don't appreciate music. That's the reason they can go as far as Pepperhouse. They don't appreciate music. That's the reason they can go as far as Pepperhouse. They don't appreciate music.
Alright, we are back. Andrew says I'm okay with The World's End. I went along with it for what it was. Fair enough. Alice says, my life, for better or worse, has been anything if boring. No, anything if boring is... I think anything besides boring. I think either of those work as far as English goes. And I dig that feeling, Alice, very well. My Cornetto trilogy hot take. I don't think it's a particularly hot take, to be honest, but I think Shaun of the Dead holds up the worst as far as movies. When it hits its bits, I think it does hit its bits very well. It's got fairly good comedy timing, but I feel like it's a little bit too self-absorbed in the conceit of like foreshadowing everything, and it feels a little bit like it's tugging on your arm later on. Like, do you remember this bit that we mentioned at the beginning of the movie? Because here it's paying off now. I also felt that the women characters in Shaun of the Dead are not developed very well at all. They feel very much like cardboard cutouts. A issue that the later films address by not having women characters. So, like, Edgar Wright really didn't nail it out of the park there. He didn't really grow, I feel, as a director on that point. And my other issue with Shaun of the Dead is, like, Shaun doesn't change. Like, Shaun is painted as a shiftless loser in the beginning of the movie, and he's largely a shiftless loser by the end of the movie. The biggest change is that Ed is now a pet instead of a character, because he's become a zombie. But otherwise, like, Shaun has his perfect life without really becoming a better person throughout the course of that film. So I do think that Shaun of the Dead, like, it holds... It's still a good movie. It's still an enjoyable movie, but I think it holds up fairly poorly. Hot Fuzz... To me, Hot Fuzz fires on all cylinders. Like, it leans so far into the comedy aspect of it and the absurd aspect of it, but the timing of everything just, like, is bang, bang, bang. It's very, very on. And even though I don't... Over time, I've grown to like the cop aspects of Hot Fuzz less and less, and that is an issue because it is a cop movie. Like, I do think that it holds up as a comedy. I don't think it tells a particularly great story. I don't think Boring McCop, because I can't remember his name in the movie, Simon Pegg's character, I don't think there's, like... He changes. He grows within the film, but he kind of, like, he grows in a very weird way, where he becomes less professional, which is maybe good for him as a character, but I think the overall message is a bit messy, especially with, well, Nick Angel. Thank you so much, Hive, because I didn't remember at all. I think it's a messy message when we look at it as part of a wider culture, and like how we view policing now, and how I've personally come to view policing over the last 5 years, but especially over the last year, that I've got issues I'm very much down with, and very much supportive of abolishing the police, not defunding the police. I think the police as an institution worldwide is a mistake. So it's kind of hard to lean into Hot Fuzz for what it is. But as a movie, it's a fucking banger. I think World's End, it's not as funny as Hot Fuzz. I think it definitely loses to Hot Fuzz in that aspect. But I think that the story that it tells is a more genuine story about addiction and self-harm. And that hook, that aspect, even though rewatching the movie, and it's quite clear what's going on, but the first time watching the movie, and Simon Pegg's character, and I think it helps a bit that Simon Pegg himself has addiction issues, has alcoholism issues, has been public about those issues in the past. But that aspect of it was such a gut punch for me. And kind of that character's way of trying to reclaim a piece of his life, a time of his life that was meaningful to him, and where he felt that he was in control and was on top of the world and was happy, as a contrast to what his life ended up becoming. Like, that resonated with me really deeply. So, like, as far as story, like the kind of understory, because I do think the aliens replicating people thing was not really great, to be perfectly honest. Like, the overstory of World's End is okay, but the understory of World's End, like, that really connected with me on a lot of levels. So I would say for that aspect, World's End is the best of the three. For a pure enjoyability aspect, I would say Hot Fuzz is the best, because it's just, like, it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie in a way that World's End is not fun. Button says, I feel this so much, it's next to impossible to engage with most police media anymore without feeling uncomfortable. Big, giant mood. Like, super big mood. Buttons. On that one. Kratz says, I'm very curious to see what form any police fiction takes going forward. I would, if... Andrew, I would imagine, at least for the next couple of years, that police fiction is going to ignore most of what's going on and hope that it still works. Because we saw this after Ferguson. And we've seen this, I hate to say it, and I mean, it's not necessarily my place to say it, because I'm not black. But I feel like we've seen this pattern a number of times. that where there's a high-profile police killing of a black person, and we get a lot of pushback for some time, and then the media largely ignores it and does not incorporate that into the larger media narrative. Now, the thing that might make this time different is that 2020, hello? That's a very weird mistake to make. It's so much. And I think that the damage that this last year has done to our sense of institutions might, and I hope it does, might push the narrative away from the kind of the propaganda that we've seen thus far. I've got my toes crossed. I don't know if that's the direction that it will go, if we'll have a more honest discussion of policing in media, because there's a lot of institutional inertia about how we talk about cops. And it's been going on since basically the 40s, at least in the United States, when we talk about the Hays Code, and like they actually had guidelines about how you were allowed to portray policing in movies as a way to get around or to circumvent, which means get around, so I said the same thing twice, the government oversight of motion picture industry. And the Hays Code was, like, it was very clear you could not show cops to be in a bad light. And while that evolved and media moved beyond that, it's still, like, most cop media, even when they portray bad cops, it's not as a institutionally cops are a problem. Systematically cops are a problem. It's more a this cop is a problem. The bad apple theory of police problems, and that is such a poison pill in the well of this kind of discourse. So I got my fingers crossed. I don't know what's going to happen. I many times have been wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong. But yeah, like it's a lot. Now what do we got? Hive says, well, hold on a second. I got to go up a little bit higher than that. Earlier, Hive says, I think the problem with Hot Fuzz is that it's very much in conversation with cop movies and not how cops should throw off the shackles of policing procedure and going rogue to better fight crime. That is absolutely fair. That is 100% fair. Continuing, in my opinion, the overstory of all the movies in the trilogy were okay at best and extant at worst. That I also agree with, Hive. I think that the Cornetto movies, like their purpose, so to speak, like we've got a zombie movie, we've got a cop movie, we've got a aliens takeover movie, is largely okay. It provides the, what do I want to say? It provides the framework for this actual story that's happening. To whether or not that actually succeeds is a different question, but I do think you're right about that. Button says, it's honestly terrifying how many films are funded by the government and no one treats as propaganda. Giant yes on that, Buttons. Because, like, that's a whole thing. Huge swaths of the Marvel Universe are basically, when we look at it through that lens, and I think that's the right lens to look at it, are basically government propaganda. What else did I miss? So much, because I was talking and I wasn't looking at chat. A problem with Hot Fuzz, I saw that. Okay. I would imagine that police fiction in the United States will likely not change in the slightest because of how deeply enmeshed the CIA, FBI, and U.S. military are in the making of media in America, up to and including final script approval. Yeah, Hive, like, honestly, that's my fear, is that we don't get a shift. We're not going to see a shift in how these things are presented. Krat says, thinking of precinct depictions, and I guess of where I live, think of UK depictions. Okay. I don't have enough background there, Andrew, but it is something I would like to learn more about. Button says they're not made by the government, just funded and approved by them. Like, there's that's the weird thing. Like, we make this disconnect between, like, where's the money come from and who's making it. Like, you know, oh, it's Marvel Pictures, and oh, they're just a comic book company, and later a Disney company, and okay, they're making these things, but it's like all this money is coming from someplace, and it's got strings attached to it, and a lot of people don't really look at those strings. Ender says there's genuine conversation to be had about the role of government interaction with the arts. Absolutely. Buttons says government community funding for arts is good. Government oversight and control over arts, not so much. Fucking yes. And Des, we're still on. I don't know how much longer we're going to be on. We got kind of caught in the conversation thread. It was a good one. I'm very happy to have had it, because good stuff. But we didn't, like, make a lot of progress in the game. Now, we do need to get to... What a mess, bird in the trash. We've got to get to at least the next control point.
Throw it into fire. Burn it all.
Okay.
Turn it into a reindeer, not into a moose.
Look at the mooses or mises. I'm not sure. Either of those are wonderful. Ati. We have been keeping our gender friend company. I feel bad about that. I always, like, I love having these conversations, but I always feel super bad that I just kind of end up leaving a screen on and not doing the thing. Because I feel like I should be doing the thing.
Okay, so what happens again if that thing blows up?
Power. Explosion. Too much.
Thank you, Buttons.
Director's duty. Keep the lights on.
Okay, so we can go here, and we're not, like, getting killed. So that's important. I don't want to be deaded. But I do want to get to the next, like, control point, because that's, like, the safe spot. So poor Jesse's got, like, a bad shoulder. I don't know how I feel about that. Escaped Oop. Arish. What are you? And we've got extra missions. I don't know how to do those. Kill enemies. I mean, we're working on it. Correspondence. We've got an object of power escaped the Panopticon a couple weeks ago. They want everybody to keep an eye eye out for it. If anyone sees a merry-go-round horse zipping around the sector, alert me immediately. Do not try to contain it on yourself, and definitely don't bind it to yourself. Security Chief Simon Arish. We sorted that already. It's sorted.
Northmoor was director before me. I never wanted his job. I never wanted power.
Really, though?
Purposefully avoided it. Didn't trust it. Didn't want to rely on it. Northmoor was all about power. A man like an explosion, hungry for authority, for order, for more, until it was too much. I had to find a solution in the end. Contain the situation. Northmoor never liked me, but he went along with it, to his credit. He didn't really have a choice. I suppose at the end of the day, a director's most basic duty is to keep the lights on. Here's to you, Northmoor. There were no prime candidates waiting in the wings, but I
Sorry I'm quiet.
had been the whole time, keeping my head down, working my ass off. I had nothing to lose. I picked up the gun almost on a dare.
Okay, what did I miss? Hive says, the MCU are an interesting case because they are, on one hand, trying to talk about how largely unchecked governmental observation of citizens can be perverted and used to justify a larger push for predictive policing, and how colonialism has a terrible history of destroying and destabilizing nations and wiping out entire peoples in the past, and how CIA continues to train operatives to do so currently. But on the other hand, the helicarriers would have been perfectly fine if the US government itself was in control over them and not some super secretive, super Nazi sect that infiltrated the US government, and a CIA operative plays an active part in saving an African nation. Like, those are really good points, Hive. That there is, like, it does feel like a sub-story, and I'll look at your stuff in a moment, Des. I just kind of want to get this out of my mouth. It feels like a sub-thread of the MCU, and we do see this in a lot of, I think, comics media, and not only comics media, but a lot of media, is that, like, if the right people were in charge, everything would be okay. Like, this organization is out of control, but it's because of Nazis. It's not because of the institution itself is a problem. It's not because of the power that they have is a problem. It's because actual fucking Nazis have infiltrated and taken over. So if we just get rid of the Nazis, which we should, by the way, that is always a cromulent goal. Do what is within your power to get rid of Nazis in your social circles. Block them out. But, you know, in the movie mold, that if we get rid of these Nazis, then, you know, it would be a perfectly fine organization, and it's no problem, because we've got these nice guys like, not Coulson, but whoever it is who's in Black Panther, who helps out Wakanda, and, you know, he's CIA, but he's good guy. He's a good guy. And there's, like, there's a lot there. There's a whole lot to unpack. Des says, getting into We Happy Few, a lot of walking around, a bit of bland in between walking around, but still getting into it early-ish. Remember, Native Indians always portrayed as savages and the enemy. Holy, I mean, that's, yes, Des, I mean, if we're looking at U.S. media presentations, I can't speak for UK or other places, but, like, the best, giant quotation marks here, huge, super load-bearing quotation marks here, like, the best interpretation of indigenous folks that we get, largely, is, like, the deep breath, the noble savage, I fucking hate everything about those two words put together in those two ways. Like, but that's what we get. Otherwise, they're, monsters. Basically, they're orcs without makeup. And that's the way that we've been treating this. DJ, I think I'd have to go back and reread like a Hive statement specifically, but I think about like I think Hive is talking about Wakanda and Agent Not Coulson's involvement in that. It's not like a direct CIA saving the nation or the country. I'm not really super sure what and this is being honest, me about English, but I'm not super sure about the difference between country and nation, if there is. So that point, but that is kind of like a baked-in piece. Okay, what do we got here? We have Captain Marvel, which is about how propaganda can portray foreign powers as an aggressor to justify a genocidal war against them, when in reality they're being persecuted and a number of folks are refugees and not terrorists, and how this is all very complicated, and actually join the U.S. Air Force. Look at our cool jets. And DJ says Hive is wrong. DJ, are you talking about Hive's take on Captain Marvel, or are you talking about Hive's take on Black Panther? Because I feel like those are two semi-separate, I mean connected but semi-separate bits. Both. Okay. Interesting. Okay. If you don't mind my asking, and Wakanda did not need saving. That's, I mean, nobody's saying to join the U.S. Air Force. Okay. I feel like, and I don't want to talk over. I want to be careful about how I word things to be, to say what I want to say, but to not, like, be an asshole about it. Nation of Islam is not a country. That's true. That's true. I mean, Nation of Islam is an organization, is not a country. So they're not the same thing. On that aspect, I feel like I feel like we're getting into areas of nomenclature, and I do want to be careful about nomenclature. I do, to make sure that we're all saying what we're trying to say. But yes, okay. Let me take a deep breath, and let me ask everybody to take a deep breath, because I feel like we're getting into interesting, without trying to put words into Hive's mouth. I do think that the Black Panther movie was presenting a existential crisis for Wakanda, where you had King Killer. Fuck, is that his name? Hold on a second. Am I remembering his name right? Maybe. I hope so. So you got the King Killer on one side, who's bringing in, and he is like CIA supported, or at least has been trained by the CIA, and he's kind of proposing a regime change with Wakanda, and is going to make Wakanda kind of export a terrorism style mission. He's going to be arming people around the globe with weapons from Wakanda, where they will overthrow, the governments in their areas, which is an interesting question in of itself. That you've got somebody who wants to empower marginalized groups. I apologize, I'm not looking at the chat right now because I have a hard time like coalescing my ideas, but I will look at them. I will look at chat in just a moment. So you've got somebody who wants to empower marginalized groups, but wants to do it in this violent kind of CIA playbook, overthrow government style. Right. So that's the one side of the conflict, and then you've got Black Panther, who's kind of the traditionalist, continuing the, at least up to that point, although at the very end of the movie it kind of subverts this, but the isolationist style. And so you've got King Killer? That's not... Is that his name? Fuck me sideways. I can't remember. Because it doesn't... It sounds like a comic book name, but I don't know if it sounds like the right comic book name. Shit. Train of thought. Just kind of blew out the water there. It's gone. I had Killmonger. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Hive says, you're right that nation has cultural connotations rather than purely political or geographic connotations. And that's verging, but that is verging on being pedantic, and nation is colloquially used to be synonymous with country. I mean, that's not wrong. That's not wrong. Right, so basically, Agent Not Coulson is a instrumental part in saving Wakanda, although he's not acting as a CIA agent, like, quote-unquote, following a CIA plan to do that saving? Nobody would say European nations. I mean, I would, DJ, but I don't want to. I don't want to. And let me put out a flag here for a moment. I don't want anybody jumping on DJ for this point, but I also don't think that this is necessarily a super big point, like that particular difference. So I'd kind of like a slight cool down on that bit. It might absolutely be a regional thing.
Hey, are you new? Then go talk with Chief Arish in the security booth. He's in charge here.
Am I calling a yellow card on this? Does it need to be official? Maybe I am. Yes. Okay, let's do a drawdown on this one. I feel like this is a minor point that could still get people hurt, and I'd rather not have that. So let's kind of phase that aspect of it out.
Ma'am! Hey! Chief Arish, FBC Security. Shouldn't you be in a safe room?
They all have HRAs. We're on the same side.
My name is Jesse Faden. I'm here to perform the directorial override to get the lockdown lifted.
Yeah, Chief Arish, FBC Security. I'm just... Oh, hang on, you're the new director. It's a pleasure, ma'am.
Let's skip the formalities, please.
Right. Faden, ma'am. Look, as you can probably tell, it's a bit of a shit show down here. We've been holding our ground, but whatever's gotten into our buddies has them wrecking the coolant pumps and the power converters. The NSC keeps overheating, and my crews keep getting shot before they have a chance to make any repairs.
NSC?
Oh, sorry. Bureau jargon. It's what we call the power plant. You know, the big rumbling metal thing? Salvador, head of security, asked me to protect it in case of an attack. See, what's inside is dangerous. Dr. Darling seemed to know it would be a target.
Darling? He's here?
No, he came down a few days ago, before everything went to hell. He was out of it. Smelled like a bar mat. He was ranting about vulnerabilities and how he only had one large-scale HRA, but that he needed it somewhere else. Still, at least he gave us these personal HRAs before he left. Hey, did I mention that he was tearing his clothes off? Crazy dude.
Darling knew the hiss was coming.
Listen, I love playing 20 questions as much as the next guy, but we have got to get the water and electrical systems repaired before this baby blows. I'll have my guys unlock the doors out of here for you.
I'll take care of it. You stay and keep the hiss away from the plant if you can.
The hiss? That's what we're calling him? Oh, that's catchy. Oh,
I'm gonna catch all this stuff up.
So if you find
Give
my
me
boss
give me
Salvador
a
out
second
there,
just to mow.
please ask him what the plan is. I'm sure he will have one by now.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
He sure has a lot of faith in his boss.
Sorry about that, because I know that that stuff was going on while I was paying attention to the cutscene. As for Captain Marvel, propaganda does not have to be explicitly stated to be propaganda. Cinematic language is fudge. Chat moves. Cinematic language is a form of communication that conveys information beyond just use of spoken or written language. That was from Hive. And I do definitely agree with that. Ludo says, can we get to the part then where, yeah, superhero movies are totally sponsored by the military and advertise them in return? That's not like some theory, that's just how it is. Yeah, like, there's a couple of things here that we should definitely address. I should set down the controller because I want to focus on this. The military does, and DJ, I realize and I understand, and I don't want to I don't want to put overpressure on you about your own relationship with the military, because I know that you are serving currently. You're stationed in Okinawa. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of wrapped up into that. The U.S. military does definitely factually support films. Being able to use things like the jets and the tanks and the uniforms and all of those things, those are things that are sponsored by the U.S. military. Is a fact. Now, how you read that and how you feel about that fact, and does that make something propaganda? Is the military trying to sell some message and using these vehicles here meaning films, as a way to sell that message? I personally I'm fairly cynical. I'm sorry about that, but I am fairly cynical, and I do feel that the military is absolutely pushing a particular message. Part of that message is a recruitment message. From how I see things and how I've seen films in the past, that point can be debated. But military involvement in media is not really a point that can be debated. The military is definitely involved in media, and it has been for a very long time. There's a reason why a lot of the old 1950s, late 1940s, 1950s movies, a lot of their stock footage was military stock footage from World War II. That's how they got it, was that the military provided that footage for film companies at that time and made it available for film companies at that time. So, like, that part of it, I really don't think that there's a place to argue that point. Luda says, if I like the military, not changes nothing in the fact that superhero movies are financed by the military. That's unfortunately true. Hive says, I'm really actually sorry for upsetting you, and I'm not in any way trying to say anything against you personally or your service. And I echo that, DJ. I don't want anything that's said by myself, and I hope by anybody else in chat, I don't want anything to be seen as a slam against you as a person. The same vehicles that get outclassed by a superhero movie. I mean,
when the converters and coolant pumps are working again, we should be able to get this baby back down to a safe temperature. I hope.
Okay, I don't want to talk to this guy right now.
I should be going.
You gotta lock down the lift.
I do kind of want to get to a save point, because I feel like my brain meats are kind of spiraling a little bit out of control. Oh shit! Okay, here we are. Are we at the Thermion argument point? Cool. Okay. I don't... Let me do a quick check on that, because I know I've heard Thermion before, but I don't know... I don't remember what it means. Eh? Oh, crumbs. There's a Folding Ideas episode, but I don't know... Dan Olson's claim that the Thermion argument is a fallacy is... fallacious. Okay? Hold on, maybe Chad has helped me out with this one. Black Lamb! Oh my god! Black Lamb, you came at the... Like, you came at a whole time here. Black Lamb, it is wonderful to see you. I hope that today and this new year is treating you with the gentleness and the respect that you deserve. I've been meaning to get in touch with you, and I will. Tomorrow's going to be my day that I'm going to do the getting in touch with people thing, because it's kind of been on my mind an awful lot. But I wanted to say to you, but also to everybody, so it's a little bit less personal. Thank you so much for this year. It's been wonderful having met you and having you in my life, and to the extent that I can help you in any possible way, please by all means be in touch. But you're good people, and it's important that you're around. I mean, the world. I mean, it's important that you're around me, but mostly the world. I'd like you still sucking air. So, continue to suck air. On the other hand, we have reached the 3-hour-and-a-half point. I kind of wish that we had gotten to this argument earlier in the episode about, like, you know, military involvement in movies and what that means and what messaging that's sending, because then we could have really chewed on it more, but I don't have the capacity to do it right now, and I feel like I need to do more research to be a little bit solid in what I already kind of think I mean. It's weird, like I believe X thing, but I feel like I need to have more in my tool belt to explain X thing. DJ, I hope that this didn't make you uncomfortable. And if you'd like to take up this thread in the future, you are absolutely welcome to do it. I personally have a lot to say on the topic. I think other people do as well, but I want everybody to please keep in mind that a discussion is not a place to attack. I don't think anybody was doing that today, but I want to have it clear, laid out as a ground rule. Not everybody's going to agree. There are certain points that are bounceable, by which I mean that I would actually ban people from the channel for, but nothing that was going on in this discussion crosses that threshold, and so that we should try to keep each other in mind and each other's situations in mind when we're having these discussions. What else? Is there anything else? I don't know. I want to sleep. I feel like I want to curl up into a ball and sleep. Des says my brain meats will be mushy by end of Friday. Third lockdown and homeschooling. Oh my god, Des. Des, tell your kids to be good, or Auntie Risu is gonna come and talk to them. That's a pretty hollow threat because there's no way I could get to the UK right now, but you know, like, still. Example of Thermian argument would be quiet in Metal Gear Solid 5. It's not a silly design for character because in the video game narrative, she breathes through her skin, so she has to wear as little as possible. I'm gonna do a bit more looking into on that one, Hive, because like that sounds like a whole thing. And quiet as a character design is, she's got a lot of issues. But oh wow. Well, was tonight ever not expected? Not expected in a good way, but still not expected. Schedules. Let's do the drawdown. I think we need to do the drawdown. Schedules. Sunday is still a big question mark. I still don't know what I'm going to do about Sunday. Maybe Dreams? Little Big Planet 3 might be taking a backseat for a while. I've got the feeling that Control is going to be for at least the next couple of weeks. So hopefully it doesn't make people too uncomfortable. But if it does, please DM me. Let me know what's going on. I did have a good time tonight. We got to crunch on a couple of topics that are close to my heart. That I do like to chew on a little bit, even if it meant that we had static screens for a while. But getting into slightly meatier discussions every now and then is something that I do really, really enjoy. And I appreciate that you're all here and supportive of that. Black Lamb, Genki ka? Do kana? Do kana? Black Lamb-chan, Genki kana? もうちょっとわからないんですけれども、もうメールする。DM するよ。But that does it for us this go about. So from me, Risco, here in Osaka, to all of you out there, wherever you may happen to be, thank you. Arigato, sayonara, see you, and ciao.